In the last section, we talked about the English units of measure. In this unit, or in this section, we're going to look at units of measurement, the metric system. The metric system is what is used worldwide. It's one standard system of units. As I said in the last recording, we in the United States of America, we use things like feet and inches and cups and pints, and the rest of the world knows nothing about that stuff. So, we have a standard system of units for the whole world, and it's called the metric system. And the units vary by a power of 10. So it's a shift of the decimal points when changing units, which is nothing like what we have in the United States. Okay. Length is measured in terms of meters. We have, whereas that's a standard metric system for length. Whereas here we have inches, feet, yards, miles, rods. So it really makes things simpler when we use the metric system. Now, since we have powers of 10, we have some prefixes. The prefix is tera, like tera. It means trillion. Giga, and we're all accustomed to gigabytes and dealing with computers and things. And that means billion. The giga is 10 to the 9th power. If you count the number of zeros, there are 9 zeros there. Mega, we use some megabytes. That's like million. Notice that 10 to the 6th power, there are 6 zeros. Kilo, we use the kilowatts, kilometer. That's 10 to the 3rd power. We have 3 zeros. That's 1,000. So all of those units are over 1. Then we have the other units that are like under 1. We go to decimals. Centi is hundredths. So we have a 0 and then the 1 is in the hundredths place. Milli is thousands. We have 0.001. That 1 is in the thousandth place. We have micro, nano, pico. Okay? So all of those are metric units. So for length, we use meter, centimeter, millimeter, kilometer. I suggest that when you take your test for chapter 2, that you actually print this page out. This is in your text. But you can print this out and have it as a reference when you are taking your test. We have meter, centimeter, millimeter, kilometer. That's metric. In U.S., foot, yard, inch, mile. For mass, we have kilogram, gram, milligram. In U.S., we have pound, ounce, short ton. For capacity, in dealing with like liquids, we have liter, milliliter, kiloliter. With the U.S., we have quart, pint, gallon. In temperature, we use degrees Celsius. We use degrees Fahrenheit, I'm sorry. But in the rest of the world, they use degrees Celsius. If you ever travel to a different country, you will see the temperature in degrees Celsius. Now, for time is constant. We use seconds, minutes, hours. They use seconds, minutes, hours all over the world. Okay? And the electrical units are the same as well. So what we're going to do now is in exercises, the following 2 exercises, we're going to give the symbol and meaning of the given unit. And what we have is a micrometer. So if we go back to our table here, micro, and this is a Greek letter. Mu. That's the Greek lowercase letter mu. So micro, and this is 0.00001 is what? If you count the zeros, you have 1 behind the decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what this means, that 6 means that 1 is in the 6th place behind the decimal. So micro meter. We have that Greek letter mu, and meter is M. And this is equivalent to 0.000001. Okay? Nanosecond. So nano is where you have 10 to the ninth. This is the billion. So if you count, you should have 8 zeros behind the decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the 1 should be in the ninth place behind the decimal. So this is NM, which is 0. So it should be 8 zeros with a 1 behind it. That's nanosecond. Now, the following exercises say give the name and meaning for the units whose symbols are given. Well, here we have a lowercase k. A lowercase k means kilo, and V means volt. So this is a kilovolt. Kilo means 1,000. And we're on the other side when we are in, not under 1, not a decimal. So this is 1 kilovolt is 1,000 volts. Let's go back and look. Kilo means 1,000. 1,000 volts. We have a kilo with that W. It's a kilowatt. So 1 kilowatt equals 1,000 watts. Let's read here. They want us to rewrite the given quantity so that all numbers are between 1 and 10. Use a proper metric symbol for the given unit. For example, 0.03 meter would be expressed as 3 centimeters. Now, why is that the case? Why would 0.03? If we go back to our chart, remember centi is 1,000. So you have your first non-zero digit in the hundred in the hundreds place. So that is 3 centimeters. So here we have 0.07 liter. We can do this like we did in the last section with the unit multipliers. 0.07 liter times. We need to look at centiliters versus liter. We know that there are 100 centiliters in 1 liter. And don't let liters get you confused, because you can think about meters. You can think about there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. All we're doing is changing the unit of measure here to centiliters instead of meters. So our liters cancel, and if we multiply 0.07 times 100, then we get 7 centiliters. Remember, they want these numbers between 1 and 10. We have 0.005 meters. Now, the first non-zero decimal place, this is the tenths, hundreds, thousands. So, what is thousandths? Thousandth is the milli. So, we're going to go to millimeters here. We're going to go to millimeters here. So, 1,000 millimeters is equal to 1 meter. And when I multiply 1,000 times 0.005, I get 5 millimeters. 5 millimeters. Now, number 32 is a little different. 9,000 watts. So let's go to our table. 9,000. So we need to go up here. The kilo is the 1,000. So we go here. 9,000 watts. there are 1,000 watts in 1 kilowatt. So that cancels. 1,000 going to 9,000 9 times, so that's 9 kilowatts. 9 kilowatts. All right, next couple of examples, they want us to give the proper symbols of the units of the indicated quantities in terms of the units given. It says the edges of a box are given in inches. What is the symbol for units of volume? If you remember with volume, volume is length times width times height. So you are multiplying 3 inches together. So volume is going to be inches cubed. You're going to have inch times inch times inch. Some people say cubic inches, okay? But you need a third power there. And this next one, the U.S. customary unit for power is the horsepower, abbreviated HP, which has units of foot pounds per second. Foot times pounds per means division second. What is the symbol for units of the horsepower in terms of feet? So it's feet times pounds times seconds. Okay, this was a very brief overview in the metric system.